Good morning, everyone. How are my peeps on this Friday? It is sun shining. They say it's going to rain. We'll see. All right. So, what are we talking about today? Give me just a sec to get my computer up to speed so I can make sure I'm in focus and on the screen. There we go. Good. Looks like we're pretty good. All right. So today I'm going to talk to you about an old favorite and something that I don't know if people really do much with anymore, which is stamping your own background and texture paper. So random stamping, but it's really planned random stamping. Okay? And I have just a couple specials to tell you about today. This one just started. No, this one did not just start. This one started April 1st, sorry. And this is our Wild Berry Blast. Okay, I've got a few Wild Berry items here. The gems, which if you love those, are Z5018. I've got the sequins, love those. And they are, hold on, there we go. They are Wild Berry sequins. They are Z5021. The Wild Berry ribbon with the little white stitching on it is Z5011. Didn't I just say that for the other? No. In case I messed up, Wild Berry loose sequins are Z5021. Ribbon is 5011. Okay, there's also these little gems that we currently have in our Cake Day dots, which there's a whole row of Wild Berry in there. Actually, there's 3 rows. And this is X7278E. And then there's wild glitter paper. Hope that's not glaring too badly for you. Z2538. Our Wild Berry cardstock in the two-toned colors, so you get the full color on the front and then the lighter color on the back, which is great. Gives you twice as many colors. And this one is X6056. So that's just all the Wild Berry I had, but this special, oh look at that, loose, a random sequin popped. I find those everywhere. How about you? So again, there is this special, and it has a ton of new products, like this paper packet that has the UV coating, and it also has silver and gold on it as well. And what else is new? There's also these, which if you like, there's coordinating cardstock. It's 12 sheets, so it's even more. 6 of the standard two-tone sheets and 6 with the single-sided foil or UV coating. So some of these are coated and some of these have foil, the silver and the gold. And that number, if you want that, is CC4223. There's also this one here, which is the Wild Berry die cuts, which is new. So these 2 are new, and that is CC4230. And then these are some of the items. Oh, I didn't pull out my shimmer trim. Hold on. Everybody needs to see a little pink shimmer trim. Here we go. So the shimmer trim, which is Z45, let me start again. Z5012 for that. And all these other goodies. The shimmer brush. Ah, man, I'm falling down on the job, aren't I? Wild Berry shimmer brush, which is Z4287. There's also, when I got those. Oh, there's also these little flowers, which I don't think I have. Oh, maybe I need those. There's also the ink pad, which I'll be using today, and the re-inker. And there is an exclusive stamp set on here, which is right here. which is kind of cool. It's just pretty much generic, so you could use it with lots of stuff. And then there is a paper pack with a sticker sheet. You can buy it with or without. So the paper with the sticker sheet is CC4221. The just the paper is CC4222. And the stamp set just by itself is CC4231. But if you want to get the whole bundle, which includes I think just the new stuff. It includes the paper packet, which is from here to here, with the sticker sheet, the coordinating cardstock with the UV and the coated silver and gold, and then these die cuts and the stamp set. And it's discounted, and it doesn't tell me how much. I'll have to figure that out. It's discounted to $38.95. It was almost 50 bucks. And if you like that bundle to add to whatever else you may already have in the wild berry, it is CC4231. Okay? And as always, you can always shop here with me, please. And thank you, JackieBloom.ctmh for closetomyheart.com. Make sure when you go to the page it says you're shopping with Jackie. And then I have one more special that started today. And this one may sell out. The wild berry is also very popular. This one starts today. I believe today is the 8th. I hope today is the 8th. And it goes through May 1st, or when it's gone, it's gone. And this is these, and I know this does not do this justice. These are our little acrylic thinner pieces, and we've had some before. And of course I don't have any super handy. Hold on, yes I do. Okay, this is our secret, right? New product, little sneak peek. But I wanted to show you, and I've already used some of the bigger ones. I wanted to show you that they are pretty darn thin. Can you see that? They're pretty thin. And they have all these little pieces that punch out, fit together. So, and they're very pretty colors. I'll put a video up. Customer did a video. And what's cool, so that's sneak peek. Sneak peek! Yay! Oh, look at this skateboard. Okay, enough said. What's neat is you see these little rainbow pieces? They will all stack together and fit together. The same with the little hearts. You can't tell right here, but there's an inner heart that punches out, and you have a little, let's see if you can see it. See that little line right there? So those all punch out. There's 3 or 4 of those. There's cameras. There's all kinds of sizes. I mean, big down to teeny weeny little hearts and little, what are those things? That always reminds me of Disneyland. I don't know what they're called. Somebody tell me. Flowers. I mean, sunglasses, bow ties, or little bows. Just fun, fun, fun. So anyway, this special is only good, or only available, shouldn't say good, they're only available to VIPs, okay? If you are a VIP, you can buy this set today at a discount. Again, I'm not sure how much the discount is. I'll have to figure that out. I should have known that. Instead of $19.95, they're $15.95. And the number that you would put in for order number is VIP 110. Okay? And they are blue, teal, yellow, orange, pink, and red. They're from 1/8 to 3.5. So this one must be 3.5 in size. And what's cool about this is you can buy them for that price, or if you spend $95, you can get as many as you want at the discount. So retail they're $19.95 for VIPs only. If you spend $95, you can buy as many sets of these as you want. They're great to have around just to add, you know, maybe you need a little something. They are on the brighter side, I will tell you that. But there's so many little bits and pieces and goodness in there. Okay? So that's enough about that. Let's go on to plain. Piece of paper in there. Okay. So, what are we doing today? Plan random stamping. So I'm going to show you a few examples and then I will show you how I made these. So it can be one color. It can be either vertical or horizontal. These are just 4 inches by 5 1/4. So they'll fit a standard size card, which is with a little bit of wiggle room. There's a card base. Card base. Here's a card base. Okay. Move this up so I can get it straight. So this will fit on here, which you can't see because it's white. Let's try this one. That's a little better. So 4 by 5 1/4. Fits on a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay? Okay. So there's that. There's that. There's this. And there's this. So those are the ones that I made so far. And then I have another one to show you, which is really cool, that I made into a card. Okay. So, anybody out there in La La Land that would like to see me? Anybody want to pick one of these? I'll give you just a minute because I know typing takes a minute, and I'll go get my iPad so I can see if anybody's talking to me. For some reason, I guess you need all kinds of technology to be able to see what you need to see. Should be able to see it. Can't see it on my phone because my phone's in a holder. The computer seems to be slow as molasses. So let's see if this is a little better. Okay, where are we? Find my group. There we go. Okay, so there we are. Well, I don't see any comments, so we will start with just one color. And that will be this one. And it is Wildberry. I have my blank piece of paper here. And my Wildberry. And, alright, the stamp sets that I used today are this one here, which is in the core catalog. Remember, that is good and through till the end of August. And the item number is D2051. And it has all these great bits and pieces if you don't want to do splashing or flicking, you know, with paint or with ink or with your shimmer brush. Then that's a nice alternative. Keeps your workstation a little cleaner. The other one I'm using is from the current 2-month catalog, which is this one here, which is the thin cuts and stamp for the card making, which just means the size is geared more towards card making. It doesn't mean you have to use it only on cards. You can use it on scrapbooks. And this number is Z4417. So those 2 stamp sets, and I have a little trick for you. Let's see, what did I use? I used this one, oops, this one, and then this one. Okay, you can see on here that my stamps are spaced out. On here they're not. And what I'm going to do to replicate this, so basically what I did is I just lined them all up on my grid here, paper, and then put them onto my block. but I want them about the same size. So I am just going to lay them over this nice straight one. As much as I can because they stick to your fingers. And then instead of grabbing a 2x2 block, I grab a 2 by what is this, 6.5 block. I grab the 1 by 6.5 because I have, sorry if my head's in the way. Oops, that one's not quite lined up. There we go. Okay. Now I'm just going to make this straight, and boom, there we go. You like that little trick? Okay. So, all right. Let's put this one over here and do this one. So the first thing I'm going to do, get all of that out of the way, is I'm going to need some room as we add stamp sets. All right. Now, you might think to only ink up what you need. I am going to ink up whatever stamps I'm using every time, because you never know if you're going to change your mind. If you only stamped up the word happy and you really wanted something else, actually it's like, I'll show you on another one because this one doesn't apply as much because you can just hang it off the edge. Okay, so I got my placement of the full sentiment on there, and then I just went around, and even though I'm only using bits and pieces, I still stamp. And watch that you don't get ink on your block, so wipe that off. You don't want it to transfer. So we put that one there. I'm keeping in mind that I'm kind of starting in the middle and get all of those because you can't, it's harder to go back and add to the middle. Alright, and this one is something like that. And then I went around and I did happy up here. And I did happy birthday here, and I did to you here, and I see a big spot here, so we're going to go in and add a little bit more. Okay, now one thing I want to talk to you about of how you watched me do this is I didn't keep everything super straight. I kind of tried to angle them a little differently, and that just adds to the random pattern. Think about nature. Nothing's just in a row unless you planted it that way. In nature that's kind of scattered and has rough edges or frilly edges, nothing is a complete circle, that kind of thing. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is this one, which gives us this lovely pattern, and I'm just going to kind of go around and fill in, if you will. And sometimes it's easiest just to take it around. Trying to, a little smudging there, but that's okay. Trying to get as far in as I can without going over the words too badly. And see, this is smaller here, so I should really turn the block this way. Okay. See, like right there is a little spot, right? And it's like, I'd really like something right there. So what I would do is ink it up, figure out about how much I need, wipe off the excess, make sure that it's dry, and just add a few more in. And that spot just wants to be messy today. Oh well, we'll cover it over. Okay, wash off your stamps in between. As you're going to different colors, you don't want to put Wildberry in a yellow ink pad. So now I'm going to go with the tiniest one. Now you saw I kind of went from big to smaller to smallest. That's the norm most of the time. Sometimes there's some deviation. The other thing you can do is see right here, there's a little blank spot. So this is perfect for, try not to line them up too badly, perfect for these little goodies. Go off the page is always good. I'm just looking for those little blank spots that this little pretty will fit in, okay? And you can see I'm off, I'm centered, I have nothing up here. So I want to add a little something over here. It just kind of makes it flow down a little better. And sometimes knowing when to stop is a good thing. So that's how we did that. And they're always going to turn out a little bit different, right? A little bit different, but that's okay. All right, let's move on to something else. And I'll get still shots of these. And then I will probably turn these into bonus cards, so you'll see that later. What else do I want to show you? Let's show you this one, but I'm going to do something a little bit different because that you can't really see what's going on there. And we need one for the boys, right? So, another piece of paper. This time I'm going to turn this one like so. I'm going to use this. And I am going to use yellow, which is lemonade, nectarine, clover, and bluebird. Okay, so I started with bluebird. I like to put these in order. Okay, just make some room, make sure you can see everything. Okay, you can just see that pad, so I'll put that one there. This one here. This is where you want to make sure you're washing stuff off. Let's put that up there so I can see it. All right. So this one, we're going to take our happy birthday, ink it up, and we are going to make sure that it's nice and inked up properly. And we're going to put happy birthday, okay? Then we're going to have to wipe it off. I kind of tap it on here to make sure it's dry, okay? And then we're going to go in the yellow, which I need a little more room for. That out of the way. Okay, and I kind of leave that where it is. It kind of gives me a guideline, and I'm just kind of staggering it ever so slightly. Okay. Because when we get to this color, which is our nectarine, we're going to have to do more than one, okay? So I'm going to start here, and then move my thing over just a smidge, put this back where it was, and kind of keep the angle of where I was going. Hope my head didn't get in the way. There you go. Okay, so we just keep going down. I'll do one more so you have all of the colors. Didn't get inked up. Take your time to ink it up. You don't want to mess up at this point. And it doesn't matter if they're super close together or far apart. You're just going to add to it. Okay, oh. I wanted to do a little bit up here. I got all the way done and it worked out better here, so I needed to add a little bit here. Okay, so that's just, you know, you would follow it the rest of the way down, but I don't want to waste your time on that. Well, maybe I will. Not waste your time, but finish it off for you. Okay, and like I said, don't worry about them trying to mask them and make them exactly the same. If you want to do rows, you could put a ruler and put little pencil mark to give you a line. If you really, really, really have to be straight. So I know I'm a perfectionist too, but gotta learn to just kind of craft. Let it go. All right. Here, and I think we need one more, which would be green, top and bottom. Huh, how'd that work out? Okay, so I don't know which one I'm going to use, so that's why I inked up all of it. And I think I'm going to use that much. But if I hadn't inked up all of it, I would have had to go back, or I might have inked it, or stamped it, and it was only partial. Not good. Okay, so now let's add some background. Again, this one, that was too dark of a color. Usually your lighter colors are better to put as the background. And you can do the background first, which I'll show you next. So this one, let's change it up a little bit. Let's use this one. It's a little bit less of a pattern than that other one that I used. It's a little bit more open. And let's see, I'm going to take some of this and just test. See, that looks way better. So we will use the orange. Now, we are just going to go and fill it in. Okay? So I'm going off the page. Doesn't really matter if it's super lined up. Another good tip is if you think you're about where you need to be, blocks can be deceiving because of the depth. So I always say get it to where you want it and then smoosh it just a little closer. But I've been doing this for a number of years, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I have kind of got it down. Oh, I like this one way better. Okay, and you can see right here, I don't know if you can see that, there's just a tiny bit missing. I'm going to go in and just give it a little, I turned it just a little bit. There, much better. I like that one better. How about you guys? See? Much better. And you can go in and add more to this, but we're going to stop there for now because I have another one to show you. And this one I made a card for. And I started with this, which this is kind of cool. I don't know if you noticed this on here. But see how these have different shapes, different textures, different light and dark. This one stamp will give you all of that, I don't know what to call it, texture, I guess. Ups and lights and darks, darker lines here, fuzzier here. It'll give you that just by one stamp. It's really kind of cool. So this time we're going to start by doing our background first. And try and follow. See now, if I went back, it's got a much darker and lighter line. So always ink it up, always wash it off when you change colors. Again, I'm starting the corner and I kind of work my way down. Remember that you've got to do your middle. This is a pretty big stamp, so I want to make sure that I fill in that middle before I go down any further. And you can also turn your stamp a little bit, so that way it's not all following the same line. There we go. Alright, but see how you get all that different shading and texture just from the one stamp? That's really cool. That's why I love these little kits that we have. Alright, now we're going to go to this one again, which, I don't know, this I think would be one of my favorites in this set because you can just do so much with it. That and the little one. There's also a little baby one. So depending on how much splatter you want, you've got choices. So we are going to go in and, again, figure out, and I'm starting in the middle because I can always add it this way, but I can't add just a little bit there, and it's easier to do it this way. And depending on the space I need, depends on which way I'm going to hold it. Up here I can kind of do it off a little bit more. So then I can turn my stamp and get a little bit bigger one. Okay, so here's going to be an issue because it's hard to get in here and then in there. So I'm going to try and get as much as I can in here. But now we have this, right? So I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to figure out about how much I need and wipe off that extra. And then I'm just going to wipe my hand over it to make sure that it's dry. And I'm going to fill that in like so. Okay? Oh, I want a little bit darker right there. Oh, a big one. And you can do this all day long too. You kind of gotta know when to stop. There, that's good. Isn't that pretty? Okay, next. Don't let me scare you, but I'm going to add this little tiny line. Okay, it's a little like tick marks. But I'm not going to add it everywhere, and this is another good one for when you have to figure out So I'm going to go to the bigger spaces first. I'm not going to cross over that. So I'm just going where I can get a full one first. Hopefully I'm staying on screen for you guys. I got my full ones in. I'm going to wash it off. This is the other way you can do it. Kind of figure out, okay, I need about 3. I'm just going to ink up 3 and add those in. Then down here I need about 3 more. So I inked up about right. Add those. And over here it looks like I need darn near 3/4 of it. You can always put it back, wash it off if you need to. So there. And then over here you have to decide, do you want a whole one or a half a one? Probably about as much as I did that time is good. Like so, okay? So that's how you can kind of frame it in. Before it looked like it was floating off a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to go back to what I had done before. We're going to put the happy down here, the birthday next, with some spacing, the 2, and the U, because we know how to line it up if we want to go back to that other one. And then just try and get them halfway straight. The straighter you are, the better it is for stamping. So I'm just going to take a couple seconds here to line those up. Alright, and now I use blue for all of these, but I want to kind of stagger where I'm going with them, which is why, let's get rid of this, which is why I staggered them on my block, okay? I want to use them independently. Alright, so we're just going to stamp up happy, and we are going to put that, have I got it the right way around? Yes, I started there. Let's see, no, I think I want to go this way. This was where I started. So we're going to do, and we're just going to stamp it like the whole block is done. Then you can wipe that one off and go to birthday. Check it out. Needs a little bit more. Make sure we have no lines, so I'm wiping that line out and putting it on my birthday. And then we'll go back to the 2. And we'll go 2. Clean that off. And the U. And there we go. All right. So, what do you think? If you have any questions, put them below. And let me see. I don't see any questions, but you're probably busy Friday. So, what did I do? Let's go back and show you, and then I'll show you the card I made. All right. So, we made those 2, just one stamp. And then we made these 2, which I improved upon. Play with it. You never know what you're going to get, okay? And then I did one this way. And now this one I didn't tell you about. I took this one here, and I just stamped it once, twice, just to highlight, because that's my full happy birthday, and that'll be the focus, and then I'll probably add something over here, okay? And then I did that one, actually, hold on. I hate a messy surface. Okay. This looks a whole lot better. There we go. Our improvement. That one that I didn't show you, same way though. I put the happy birthday on first, and then I went around with one color and did all of those. And just keep in mind of spreading everything out. Then I went around with the yellow, spread those out. Then I went around with the candy apple red. And then I went around with these little bursts. And how I did those was I tried to make sure that I got groupings. So just kind of like here, there was no wild berries, so I put a couple wild berries. Orange, orange, red. One of these is supposed to be yellow. I don't know where my yellow, there's a yellow. I think this one kind of got a little bit of my nectarine and orange and lemonade together, the orange and the yellow. So that's how that happened. And then I put in this little baby one, which is that one I was showing you before that I didn't use, in yellow just to fill in. And this, it didn't matter because it's so little. Let me show you. It's so little that it doesn't matter if it goes over the top of stuff. Okay? And then I did this one, which is that same one I used on this one, which was an improvement. So this one I put happy and to you. And actually, happy birthday to you was right here. But then I thought, oh, I'll just kind of almost build this to a card. Same thing. We got the yellow, the orange, and the red splattered around. And then the yellow, orange, and red. Use your colors so you get at least 3 spots of each color. And then I put the candles there with the little red, and then I will finish this card off. And then this one I made into a card for you. You cannot get this stamp cake that I used. I looked and it's not online anymore, but it was perfect for the spot. And I know that you guys go back and use your stamps, and if you don't, you should. So I try not to do that very much here, but this little one you can't get anymore, and that's just that same cake candle. Okay, so I raised this up, I raised this up. This part's not raised up, that part is raised up. These are just the clear sparkles that I took burnt orange blend and my sparkles, and I've told you this 1,000 times, but I'll tell you again. And I'm on the darkest color because, you know, this clear is kind of faceted like a gem. Make sure it's stuck down so they don't move on you. And you just color them in. Let them dry a couple minutes and pick them up and put them where you need them. Always best to buy some. I mean, it's good to buy the colored gems too. But it's always nice to have the clear ones that you could add so many products to. Not just your markers. You can add stickles to them. You could add the stickle liquid pearls to them. There's tons of stuff you can color these with. Alright, so there's that card that I finished. So tell me, out of all these, which is your favorite? We'll put that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And I'll do bonus cards with the rest of those and finish those up today and get them online for you. I hope you had a great time. I hope that you will try it a little bit. Don't forget about the specials, especially if you're a VIP. Those are going to be fun to play with. Here's my shopping site and Wild Berry Blast. Get your pretties now. I know somebody already did. I won't say who, but maybe she'll bring them on Monday to card class if she sees this. Thank you, dear. Oh, and there's also some images of, there's a couple of cards and a layout, and those will, I think, be online that you'll be able to see. And I'm sure they might even do a little VIP how to make those. Okay? A little class, a workshop, if you will. Bye!